saying or yelling "fuck you" at a police officer is an act of free speech protected by the U.S. Constitution, a federal appeals court ruled on June 3, 2019. As protected speech, it should be free from retaliatory government actions, the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals declared in a case from Fort Smith. The court's decision came in an appeal of a lawsuit filed by a man, who was arrested in Fort Smith back in 2015, after he yelled "fuck you" at an Arkansas state trooper he was driving past, who had pulled over a lady and her children for speeding. According to the court, the trooper ended the traffic stop of the van and pursued the man, stopped him, and arrested him, citing Arkansas's disorderly conduct law. The trooper claimed the man's shout constituted unreasonable or excessive noise, and therefore violated the law. The Eighth Circuit Court ruled that the man's profane shout was protected activity, and that the trooper lacked probable cause for an arrest, and violated the man's Fourth Amendment right to be free from unreasonable seizure. What follows is an exercise of free speech, by journalist Russ Raycup, streamed on Facebook, prior to the start of a meeting of the Civil Service Commission. Raycup has been targeted by the Little Rock Police Chief, Keith Humphrey. Humphrey attempted and failed to have Raycup charged, with harassment for carrying out his journalistic activities, of exposing corruption by Humphrey and others at the Little Rock Police Department.
There's that cocksucker, Chief Keef, the one who cheats on his wife. He made a vow to God in a church that he wouldn't cheat, and he got caught coming out of his side chick's house. Until the mayor fires him, the city's never going to be able to get on the road to straightening out Little Rock Police Department, because he's an example of why it's so fucked up. And I'm filing a complaint. In fact, I may mention it today at the Civil Service meeting about him, from where he has gone after journalists like myself and tried to get us arrested for doing our job. He's so arrogant. We're going to catch him coming out of his side chick's house in his gym clothes. Good. He can hear and tell me that he's a piece of shit. Cheats on his wife. Has debts. He tried to say it was a settlement, but it was a judgment against him. You don't have a settlement registered as a judgment in the court of law.
Sir, did you say something?
Yeah, I said fuck you.
Andre, he's cursing in here.
I have a First Amendment right to say fuck you to a police officer. That's been determined by the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Sir, are you offended?
Doesn't matter if he's offended. There's a case. Y'all are seeing it.
Is anyone here offended by his words?
There's an Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that you can say fuck you to a police officer. It's protected speech. And if you're going to charge me with violating that protected speech, you, sir, are not transparent. It's the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that. It was a case out of Arkansas with the state police.
Mr. Raycop, I'm going to tell you this one time. If you're going to stay here for this meeting, the people here in this room...
You have no control over this meeting.
Listen.
You have no control over this meeting.
Raycop,
this is the civil service meeting.
Mr. Raycop.
This is a civil service meeting.
Mr.
You are not
Raycop,
in charge.
If you're going to stay here for this meeting, you don't need to be cursing.
They need to bring it up, Chief, not
No,
you.
they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
You are not in charge.
I am the police chief.
You are
I'm
not in
responsible.
charge.
Mr. Raycop.
You are not in charge, and this man's on the liars list.
That's a lie. Show me my name on the liars list.
Stand back.
Show me my name on the liars list.
Stand back.
Mr. Raycop, I'm going to ask you one more time to stop cursing.
I'm not
In this
cursing.
building.
I did curse because it's my right.
No, you don't have a right to do
I
that.
do
in
have a
meeting.
right to
No,
do
you
it.
don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Look up the law.
I have looked up the law.
You do not have the right to do that in a meeting.
What
Mr.
law school
Raycop.
did you graduate from, Chief Keith?
Musty, I don't know.
Gentlemen, We'll wait for the chairperson and then
He is
can
not in
address
charge of
that.
this meeting.
However,
I want to make a complaint about this man.
I
He has
understand.
targeted me.
I understand.
There are
I'm
stories in the
gonna get back
Democrat.
with you.
Chief, this is not your
Hey,
meeting.
This is not the avenue for this.
You can't do
I'm
that
the
in here.
official
I can
secretary.
too.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
We're gonna start the meeting. as
Is
soon
he in
as
charge of
the
this meeting, Ms.
chairperson-
Witherall?
Sir,
Is he in charge of this meeting, Ms. Witherall?
I'm in charge of this meeting.
All right, then he needs to sit down and STFU.
No.
Yes,
We're
he
gonna
does.
treat everyone with respect. No, we're not going to. We're not gonna go there. We're
Are you
gonna wait for the
trying? Are you trying to
chairperson.
engage me in
I'm
combat,
asking-
Chief?
I'm asking you to come sit me
We're
down.
we're
If you have a
not.
problem.
He's out of control, folks.
Sir, just sit down and we'll start the meeting.
Get him to
as soon
sit down
as
and I'll sit
our-
down.
Chief, would you please sit down?
Russ, I'm just asking,
And
if
as
you want
soon-
to escort me to sit down, please do. I will sit down.
She's already instructed you, Chief, to sit down.
We're all
want
just
you to
gonna
come sit me
sit
down,
down and we're gonna wait for the last commissioner to arrive and then we will start the meeting. If everyone could maybe just sit in their chair, make sure we're socially distant from
You're not gonna come in
everyone.
this room cursing.
Fuck you. I have the
Sir.
right to say that.
Sir, please.
The Eighth Circuit Court,
I
call Tom
understand.
Carpenter and ask
I
him.
understand.
Call Tom Carpenter and
Please,
ask him.
Please, just sit down and let's all social distance and sit down. and
He's
we
not
will
even wearing a
start-
mask. He's spreading corona right here. Look, he doesn't even have it on correct.
Sir,
He doesn't even have a mask on.
please just sit down so that we can start the meeting as soon as the last commissioner. Well, still, let's all just sit down.
Yeah,
and we'll
like the
calm
plan
down.
you had to get me arrested for doing my job as a journalist. That didn't work out for you, did it either?
Well, still, we're just gonna wait for the last commissioner to arrive.
And that, folks, is how you handle scofflaws.